Coach, another one of those kind of atmosphere-less games, it felt like, but your team was able to overcome that and pick up a big 2 points.
Yeah, I liked our start. You know, we talked about Providence playing 4 and 5 nights and with travel, played Toronto yesterday afternoon, so we wanted to get the jump on them. I thought we did that. Felt we were the better team in the first period. They certainly tilted the ice in the second, and I think we only had like one chance. Now, obviously, the 3 penalties did help things as that took our momentum away, but we just talked about in this, the second intermission about coming out and winning that third period, because there are a lot of momentum swings throughout a hockey game, and it's very difficult to dominate any team for 60 minutes. And they had some chances in the first, but I really felt first was ours, the second was theirs. So we came to the forefront in the third and locked it down and tweaked the lines a little bit there, at least the top 6, flipped the wingers, and it paid off immediately there with Sokol making a nice play to Luch.
Did the Whitman fight spark anything at all? Because it seemed to be a little bit of a turning point.
Yeah, I thought so. And then the big hit with JD, with Sinishin coming across the ice there with his head down, I thought that was a great hit, and so that certainly added to a little bit of not only the fire of the game or the momentum of the game, but those two things certainly helped with the intensity.
How much of a confidence boost do you take out of beating the number 1 team on the other side of the conference?
Well, Providence has always been a good team, and this year they've had a lot of ups and downs early with COVID and lineup changes with Boston, but they've certainly been on a roll. I mean, they've been the hottest team in the American League at 9-1 here in the last 10. So we talked about that. One of our messages this morning was the fact that this week was out of conference games or out of divisional games, which we're not used to. So we felt, with Providence being first in the Atlantic and Manitoba sitting there second right behind Chicago, they're a formidable opponent this weekend. So for us to get 4 out of 6, you're going to have to play good hockey. So that was a good test, and we passed the first one, and it's always nice to get that first one out of the way.
And a nice little homestand complete now before you head to Winnipeg.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about becoming a better home team. And I think getting fans back in our building and the atmosphere last weekend with Rochester here was very, very good. And quite frankly, for an afternoon game that was rescheduled today, surprisingly there was more fans than we anticipated, based on the dynamics of the game. So overall, nice to finish on a strong note and hit the road here for what will be 2 tough games.
And last one for me, Kevin Mandalese obviously left in the second period. What's the latest on him, and how big of a hole is this for the team set to head away here?
Yeah, obviously, it doesn't look good. I mean, quite frankly, he was playing very, very good today and battled. He was injured there that last minute and a half of that period and actually made 2 saves. But he's got a knee injury that looks like it's going to be an extended amount of time out. Now, in terms of the length, I'm not quite sure yet, but it'll certainly be probably in the 4 to 6 range initial diagnosis, but that could change here over the next few days once he gets MRIs and that type of thing. But that's a big loss. Obviously, Matt Murray's out as well, and we'll have to get a goalie in at least for the weekend, and then kind of reevaluate because if Mando's out long term and Matt Murray's out any significant amount of time, it'll be tough to run Mads every night, especially with back-to-backs and that type of thing. But we'll try and get through the weekend here and then go from there.
How much momentum is your penalty kill giving you guys right now?
Well, the penalty kill for me has been one of our strengths all season. Now, like any penalty kill, it has its moments, but we went in today 12th in the league. I believe we were 9th before giving up 2 there Saturday night against Rochester, but again, very, very strong tonight. So I suspect if you look at the stats tomorrow, we should be in the top 10 again, and it's been one of our strengths, and Ben Sexton does a real nice job with our structure, and we've certainly got the makings of a good PK when you start looking at the roster, and obviously Bishop being healthy and playing. Saburn's a very, very effective penalty killer at this level, and to go along with Agazino and Shaw, who've been mainstays all year, and Kastelik and Rhino, you've got 6 pretty good penalty killers there with Chartier, a number 7 guy who I've been kind of saving to come back 5-on-5 with. So overall, it's been a strength, and it will need to be moving forward.
Scott Sabrin got an A on his jersey tonight. Just your thoughts on what he's meant to you?
Well, for me, I've always been a big believer of leadership by committee, and obviously Shawzy's our captain, and Leslie and Agazino have worn letters, and Williams, who I've been with for a number of years, he wears letter who was injured. So we just felt with a couple guys that were A's normally, Parker Kelly up in Ottawa, that we'd move it around a little bit, especially with the jersey switches here at home. So Sabrin, I think, is a big part of our team. We've had a lot of success with him in the lineup, and he brings a lot of the dynamics that we like to go along with the Sokolovs and the Yerventis of the world. And for me, you need the Sabrin presence in this division. We've got a lot of tough buildings, and I think he's just a big part of the team. Guys love him, and we just wanted to show from the coaching side of things that we believe he's one of our leaders.
From a roster standpoint, your team's a lot different than the last time you faced Manitoba. Going into a big building like that, just matching your lines, how much confidence do you have in that?
Well, I think the fact that now we've got 4 really good lines, where the 4th line I don't have to manage it as much. And I talked to Bishop and Wedman and Sabrin about that. They're very responsible defensively. They're a line that you can put out after a goal because they're so good on the forecheck. And when they're solid on defensively, you can really not worry about matchups. Now, today we tried to match hard Stanika against Kastelik, and I think we accomplished that for the most part. But a little bit more difficult on the road. But I do feel good about our 4-line depth right now. And hopefully we can stay away from the injury bug and keep that going here.
And then just finally, Cole Reinhardt, is this kind of the natural progression you were hoping to see with him? He's becoming a weapon on the penalty kill.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rhino is, the last 6 or 7 games, he's been one of our best forwards. Skating has always been one of his strengths, and you see that really every game. But the fact that he's been taking the puck to the net, becoming a little bit more involved, a little bit more gritty, that's how he needs to play in the NHL. He's going to be a 3rd, 4th line type of player if he ever gets to the NHL, and being a penalty killer, using his speed, and playing like he has here in the last probably 6 to 9 games is what he needs to do. So consistency's been very good recently, and I thought tonight was another example of a pretty good game where he got rewarded with the empty net goal, but he was on the ice, and that's important because obviously from a coaching perspective we trust him.